In this session, you'll learn how to use 7 to 10 for Final Cut Pro. This is a separate application for converting a sequence in Final Cut 7 to a project in Final Cut Pro 10. First, you will export from Final Cut Pro 7 as an XML file and then convert with 7 to 10. Then finally, import into Final Cut 10. You will also reset the aspect ratio in Final Cut 10 should it be changed in the conversion. Seven to 10 is in fact a little program that will convert a sequence from Final Cut 7 into a Final Cut 10 project. And the procedure is you need to be in Final Cut 7 in your project or in your sequence, and we will now export this sequence to an XML file. So export XML and just accept the defaults, click OK, and we will need to put this somewhere. So let's just set a new folder, we'll call it weddings, and create. There we go. So that's writing the project now as an XML file. This is in real time, so you can see it happens fairly quickly. After we've exported the XML file from Final Cut 7, we need to go to the 7 to 10 application, and then we need to locate the file, the XML file, and simply open it. And it will do the translating. I'm leaving this in real time. Now we get a choice of saving that as an XML file and then we can go to Final Cut 10 and open it, or sending it directly to Final Cut 10. My suggestion is to save it as an XML file and then you've got it for later use. It's just going to ask us where to save that file. Though you will see when you look in the Finder they do have different icons. So that's saved there. What we need to do at this point then is go to Final Cut 10. Now that we're in Final Cut 10, we need to import that XML file and create a project in Final Cut 10. So selecting the import XML, we'll locate the footage. This will take a little time. It depends on how long your sequence was in Final Cut 7. If it's an hour's worth of footage, it tends to take about 5 to 6 minutes to get into Final Cut 10. In this case, this was a 17-minute highlights, and you could see how long that took to come in because it's in real time. So if we have a look up here now at the highlights, there are all of the original clips from Final Cut 7. So these are the camera clips from Final Cut 7. There's the B&J highlights sequence. It's now a compound clip, and it's also in here as its own keyword. So here is the B&J highlights clip, and you'll see that it's been stretched. Now this can happen. It's simply something that's missed in the process, and it's simply a matter of adjusting the settings here in Final Cut 10. So we need to now look at the inspector, and if we click on the gear mechanism here, we can edit the compound clip settings, and you can see the video properties are askew. So we'll simply set this back to 1080i as it was previously, and there it is in its correct aspect ratio. And you can see in the timeline the sequence from Final Cut 7, which is now a project in Final Cut 10. All video that was on track 1 in Final Cut 7 is now on the primary storyline, and the other video tracks are appropriately attached tracks here in Final Cut, and the audio is also as attached tracks in Final Cut 10. Normal transitions are recognised, and generally speaking this particular clip has come through pretty well unscathed. There's a little difference there in the titling to what the original was, and I noticed down here in the dance sequence there was an overlap. There it is there. That portion of the clip there should have transparent edges on it, so it's just a matter of adding that effect here in Final Cut 10. But generally speaking, it's come across pretty well unscathed.